French-born, raised to prominence in England. Seeking a way through, three lining up. It's just over the head of Nicholas Jackson, who's marshalled by El Hadji Malik Diouf these days. Brahim Diaz. El Kaabi, chance now. El Kaabi closed down, still alive. Back post and swept wide. How is it not happening for Morocco? They can't believe that these opportunities are not being put away.
Great run by Diaz here. And he played him at the right moment. Yeah, the first touch was good.
Looks for Hakimi, and that's delightful. Morocco, flamboyant, fast.
Beautiful counter-attack from the Moroccans. Each run was ahead, the man with the ball, and that made it possible for it to be fluid. Look at this. Every run is in front of them, waiting. Everybody, both teams are not trying to win it.
Back post, and nodded over by Diouf. Out for the corner it goes again. Diouf stays down. Oh, and this looks to be a nasty injury. A clash of heads. Medical attention is racing onto the park. El Ainaoui.
Whoa, this is direct head-to-head. Ooh.
Jackson and Messina getting to know one another a little better.
That's been going on. That's been going on pretty almost the whole game. We saw them already in the corner kick earlier on.
From the corner, steered away. It'll be recovered by Morocco, who chip it toward the back post. It'll be left. That's great communication from Mendy. He called leave loud and clear. El Ainaoui wants to continue.
I thought he had changed his jersey earlier on.
He's going to make his way back on now. And he's standing by. The fourth official holding up his board. Abdoulaye Seck is going to make his way on for Mendy, who earned the start today in the absence of the unwell Crépin Diatta. Another change, we'll see Lamine Camara make way. And on in his place, Ismail Assar, the 27-year-old Crystal Palace man who's not unfamiliar to winning titles, having won the FA Cup and the Community Shield with Crystal Palace and victories over Manchester City and Liverpool. And Iliman Ndiaye is another player making way. This is maybe the question of us. Sorry.
Totally understandable, because
Hakimi, corner Morocco. Pressure down the right.
I was saying totally understandable, because at this moment now you need...
Morocco want to make the changes here, and El Kaabi is going to make way. Can't add to the 3 goals he scored at this tournament. 3 stunners, 2 spectacular overheads. He makes way for En-Nesyri, who is looking to score at 5 Africa Cup of Nations tournaments. Hakimi prepares to feed. Back post, there to be struck straight at Mendy, no harm done. Edouard Mendy bringing this under control.
Yeah, directly at the...
Portugal, even at the World Cup.
Yeah, it was his header that took out Belgium. So
delivery here in towards Jackson. Under pressure is Hakimi a little. Out for the corner it goes, or throw it goes, and right near the corner flag.
No, that looks more like a throw-in.
Yep.
$50 years, huh?
That's a long time. Delivery is too strong. Away by Hakimi, who goes down. Mane comes striding through, gets past Elenoe, sees the space, opening up, and Mbaye is calling for the ball to come his way. Closed down by Mazraoui. A loose ball, pounced hit first time, but dragged wide of target. An opportunity gone for Senegal as Pape Gueye fails to hit the target.
Well, the pass to open play by Mane was really important here. That was decisive. Oh, he was already falling backwards when he struck the ball. So.
This is one of those matches that is...
that should be expected. It's been a full month, a whole month.
Jackson overruns this slightly, pulls it back, Mbaye with a chance here for Senegal. Mbaye! Bono with arguably his best save of the tournament. Somehow reaches one that was destined for the top corner.
Well, that was great play from Mbaye there. The way he was able to outmaneuver the opposition and put it on the left foot was well played.
Well, his mother might come from Moroccan stock, but he is not in any way sentimental, it seems. Proudly representing Senegal and just inches away from giving Senegal a late lead in this game. Look at this. Back live, Morocco for a chance as Al-Zouli, tight angle, hits it wide. Under very, very solid pressure. Abdoulaye Seck driving him wide.
Both teams trying to win this now. They don't want to go to the extra time and they want to try to knock it in, to nudge it. Not too far out if you look at it once again. Especially this one. Oh, this is great goalkeeping by Bono here.
Yassine Bono hasn't had many saves to make, but those the 90-minute mark in the stadium. Still, the Rabat crowd is roused. Senegal pile forward. Timely touch from El Yamik. Steers the ball away from danger. Two players were waiting behind him, Jackson and Mane.
If he didn't touch that ball, I think it was going to be a goal.
Corner kick. Elenoe continues to battle away.
Well, it's kind of like the Senegalese are really piling up the pressure now, trying to make the difference now. I think they are taking a bit more control of the game. Could it be that finally, physically, the Moroccans are struggling? It looks like it.
It's been a long old tournament. Is there some success for Senegal to come late on? Morocco went 120 minutes in their semi-final against Nigeria. Senegal needed 90 to beat Egypt. Delivery, one work, and it's in! Senegal with a goal! Sensational for a moment. The referee signals wait. Was there a push? Was there a shove? Seck with a header, and it was eventually deflected in by, I think, Ismail Assar.
I think there was a push.
That is going to be called back and not allowed. Best, not only in the continent, but in the world. Maybe a chance for Morocco. Pressure piled on. Delivery in towards En-Nesyri, steered away to safety. Was there... En-Nesyri flirting with that offside line, but Salahuddin looking for the dangerous striker, now Turkish-based.
It's difficult to see from that angle if it was an offside or not.
He was certainly right on the line. The assistant referee has been accurate throughout this tournament, though, calls it as a corner. Final minutes here. Opportunity to feed, back post, steered away by Diouf. Kept alive though. Tarkhalin. Hakimi. Salahuddin wanted it. El Yamik finds Elenoe. Now Brahim Diaz turns on a moment of magic, but that's a little too heavy. 3 minutes of added time remain.
I wonder what Diaz is complaining for.
I think he's feeling there was a touch that saw it fly over. Well, this is the earlier attempt.
Well struck, really.
Ooh, he was calling for the penalty appeal.
I think he was calling for that.
That's going to be looked at, I'm sure. Brahim Diaz, meanwhile, is making noise. The referee has not allowed play to get back underway, so I think it is being checked.
Okay, that's what Diaz was angry about, because I didn't see anything wrong with that.
I think you're right. I was trying to figure out what he was upset about.
Yeah.
But that replay.
Now this could be a turning point in this game, Dwayne.
Very much so. Now look at the incident again. Diouf, arm around the neck, and the referee will go have a look. We are going to see a penalty check. We are 90 seconds away from full time. Brahim Diaz has been tugged off the ball, but does the referee believe that this was a foul? I am finding it very difficult to argue against that being considered anything but.
Me neither, because it looks like there's a tug just behind the neck, over the shoulder.
Well, a man who could do no wrong in the semi-final, El Hadji Malik Diouf, might just have given Morocco an opportunity to claim it late on here. Referee still at the monitor. Behind him is all sorts of chaos and drama. Two technical teams coming together as he looks at the replay again and again. He's made his decision. This could define history. Penalty! Robert roars! And to be fair, I don't think that's the wrong call. I think the referee's got this right.
Neither do I. You could see the hand, the tug on the neck, over the neck and over the shoulder. There was a push, there was a pull away that obstructed and that stopped the player from going to the ball.
Senegal in danger of closing out a fourth successive final without scoring a goal at the Africa Cup of Nations. The only other team who's done that was Côte d'Ivoire, but they played in a fifth final in which they scored, and that was just 2 years ago. Yellow card coming out for Ismaila Sarr, who protests vehemently. But imagine the pressure now on the penalty taker.
Tell me about it.
I mean, you have got the weight of 50 years on your back when you step up.
Well, there's no rush when at such moments. I think if you've got a penalty that's been given to you, what's attributed to your team, all you have to do is be patient, be calm. In fact, I don't see any real reason why the Moroccan players are already in the box.
So Diouf has been cautioned now, and this is the moment that might very well have decided this final in this tournament. There are multiple discussions between players who know one another rather well. There are scuffles in the crowd, and security is needing to deal with an issue on the opposite end of the park. In the meantime, Bonu has had to come out of his goal with a little chaos behind him, but the players discussing a moment that might prove pivotal.
This is actually not good for the penalty taker, and this is also not good for the image of this competition so far, because it's been a...
So play will get back underway. from a penalty to Morocco. Edouard Mendy is still shaking his head. A man who's playing as part of a Senegal squad in the final again, having won it in 2021. He wasn't part of the team in 2019 in the final because he broke his finger earlier in the tournament, Edouard Mendy. Pape Thiaw, meanwhile, is appealing for a little calm. He and Regragui come together. There are some heated discussions, shall we say. These are two coaches who have led their respective teams to remarkable success. Regragui has transformed Moroccan football, and he has a chance to claim his crowning glory here. Meanwhile, it seems the players are being called off the park.
I think they should be very careful here, because in such situations you could get sanctions that you might live to regret. These are moments where one has to be calm, and as players or as managers, you should not provoke or create or make the situation even worse.
There is an incident in the periphery. It is seemingly seen as a security concern, and the players are being asked to leave the pitch. There are still heated words being exchanged. There is much indecision. Achraf Hakimi, meanwhile, is over trying to separate players and coaches, showing that calm heads can prevail. But where we have come to, well, the Moroccan fans can't wait for this moment, but it might be a while yet before it happens. The players are not on the park at the moment, bar a few in and around the penalty area from Morocco. The referee waits, it seems, for indication from the general coordinator as to how this match might progress.
Well, the rule says now the referee is no longer in his hands. He has to now wait.
This is the moment again.
Yeah. Now let's look at this. There is a pull. Yeah, of course. You cannot deny that there's a contact there. There's a pull. Yeah.
Well, the indication is, would that be a foul outside the 18-yard area? I would suggest a good 99 out of 100 times it's going to be called a foul. And if it's a foul in the penalty area, it is a penalty. That is what the referee has decided, a penalty with only a handful of seconds remaining in added time. There are about 90 seconds remaining in added time, to be fair. So it's not quite the last kick of the game, but it does provide Morocco with an opportunity to finish it up from the penalty mark potentially. Now earlier, Senegal had the ball in the back of the net, and it was disallowed because of the contact that Seck made on Hakimi.
Yes. And you can see the outstretched arm that got Hakimi off the way. And in this other action here too, you can also see the outstretched arm of the Senegalese player also pulling the Moroccan player down. So now the question is it decisive enough to have stopped, to have impeded the progression of the player? That is for the referee to decide, and that's why he went to the VAR to check that out.
Well, the respective coaches are on the field of play for now. Regragui and Thiaw, they're making their way off. The referee is ushering them to the sideline, and they look to be an embrace between Hakimi and Thiaw. But now Hakimi is looking to keep Regragui away from Thiaw as they come towards the centre line. Again, Hakimi is looking to try to prove peacemaker, it seems.
The managers have to stay calm. The managers have to keep the players calm.
Well, from a Senegal perspective, the players might feel aggrieved in the sense that they had the ball in the back of the net, it was disallowed, and then they had the clearance. It's been overturned and called as a penalty. You can understand where frustration might build from, but I don't believe the decisions were incorrect. I believe they were spot on.
Neither do I, and that's the advantage we have today of the VAR. It is not as if there was nothing, there was no contact at all.
Now the players are again being called from the park. Senegal are marching off. They're going into the tunnel.
Now that is something I wouldn't advise them to do. Against the directives of the referee. That is something, if they have to go to the tunnel, it has to be a decision that the officials have to take.
This is also not how you want to see an AFCON career potentially end. Sadio Mane stays and chats to a man who's coached at this tournament more than any other, Claude Leroy.
No, this is a shame, because it's been a wonderful tournament and we don't need it to end like this.
Mane in discussions with senior executives. The remainder of his teammates, bar a few, are in the change room already. The Moroccan players are out on the pitch. Sadio Mane, there are appeals for Sadio Mane to keep Senegal on the park, I suspect. And he's calling his players. He's calling.
Well, I would strongly advise caution here, because this is not going to help because of the Senegalese. And furthermore, the penalty has not been scored yet. So you don't know what could happen now.
Edouard Mendy is a great penalty shot stopper. He's a phenomenal goalkeeper. That's Sadio Mane, the man who's got 20 goal contributions across 29 starts at an Africa Cup of Nations, 11 goals, 9 assists, and a man who has started more Africa Cup of Nations games than any other. Pape Thiaw is telling his players to get back onto the park.
No, Sadio Mane started. Sadio Mane asked the players to come back onto the pitch.
And that's leadership.
That's leadership, and not. Sometimes you don't necessarily have to wear the captain's band to be a leader, and that's what is shown here.
Credit though to Gana Gueye, to Ismaila Sarr and to Abdoulaye Seck on the park. They have not left.
Well, this is why Sadio Mane is loved worldwide, because of intelligence and the ability to stay calm. This is a man who's been through a lot of challenges in his playing career.
Well, he's a man that just continues to remind us of all the incredible things that you can do when you have success. Alhaji Diouf, a word to Sadio Mane. Alhaji Diouf, the first Senegalese player to win African Footballer of the Year. Yeah. Sadio Mane has since won it twice. But this is a man who continues to prove as well, and I think he's going to go and fetch his teammates from the change room.
Yeah, that is.
He continues to inspire, and he continues to remind us that value doesn't lie in titles, it doesn't lie in money, it doesn't lie in applause, it lies in the courage to rise from the humblest beginnings and carry as many people along with you on your way up.
I think Sadio Mane is a hero. He's an example that people should can imitate. Now, when you see a player like this the teammates are coming back onto the pitch now. If the referee blows a penalty, the rule says you have to respect the decisions of the referee. Furthermore, the penalty has not been scored yet.
You can understand the frustration, but it is certainly not something you want to see. When we expected drama in a final, we did not expect this kind of drama. This is a chance for Africa to shine, and maybe a little gloss off the evening. Shaw will watch on.
They should stay calm now.
It looks like Edouard Mendy has been cautioned here for his little cynical bump on Anas Salahedin. So yellow card for Edouard Mendy. Well, and a yellow card for Salahedin as well. Now, I don't want to make a tongue-in-cheek comment here about potential extra time, but we've nearly seen 120 minutes go by. We're just into the 112th minute now.
Well, what the referee will just go back to, that's why you have the fourth referee there. They'll go back to the minutes that were left, the time that was left, before the game was stopped, and based on that, that's what it's going to do now.
Now, En-Nesyri and Brahim Diaz are having a conversation. En-Nesyri, with a chance to become the only Moroccan player to score in 5 Africa Cup of Nations tournaments, has handed the ball to the tournament's leading scorer, Brahim Diaz, who lines up. Brahim Diaz, who scored in 5 successive matches to start. Against Comoros, against Mali, against Zambia, against Tanzania, and against Cameroon in succession. Brahim Diaz, tournament's leading scorer with 5, up against Edouard Mendy, the focused man from Real Madrid, up against Al Ahly goalkeeper Edouard Mendy, a Champions League winner in Europe and in Asia, and a winner of AFCON in 2021 edition. Edouard Mendy is just signalling something to the referee, and Sadio Mane has come over to have a discussion. There seems to be something going on. Brahim Diaz remains focused as ever. Mendy backtracks. Brahim Diaz replaces the ball. And now, perhaps, the final to get underway again. Brahim Diaz to give Morocco the lead. Chips up Panenka down the middle, and humiliatingly, Mendy saves it. Stays on his line, the opportunity gone, and maybe now we are going to go to extra time. Robert roars and erupts, but for a very different reason than the one they considered they might.
Now this is how do you explain this? At such a moment, this is not a time to try to play Panenka.
He looks crestfallen. Brahim Diaz, who's proven nothing but heroic throughout this tournament and throughout qualifying. He's missed the magic moment when it counted most to produce a potential winner. With that,
I must confess that I am totally shocked, because at such a moment to play a Panenka is something that you hardly ever see.
So goalless after 90, we will have extra time in this final.
Now this complicates issues totally now, because one side now is going to feel as if they just got some poetic justice, whereas the other side will feel that, okay, they've been let down by their best player. But then we can all miss penalties anyway.
Everybody can miss a penalty. A little